Hello everyone. What if simply testing someone for anemia was never enough and the real solution required tracking them all the way until they were actually cured? Would that change how an entire nation approaches this problem? Today we are going to explore the transformation of the Anemia Mukt Bharat Abhiyaan into a screening-led, digitally monitored continuum of care for the year 2026. This journey towards fighting anemia in India spans 50 years of continuously expanding scope. It began in 1970 with the National Nutritional Anemia Prophylaxis Program, which focused on providing iron and folic acid to pregnant and lactating women. In 1991, this expanded into the National Nutritional Anemia Control Program, which moved beyond pure prevention into therapeutic management. In 2012, the weekly iron folic acid supplementation program was introduced, reaching both school-going and out-of-school adolescents. In 2013, the National Iron Plus initiative brought a complete life cycle approach across 6 beneficiary groups. And in 2018, Anemia Mukt Bharat was launched, introducing the structured 6x6x6 strategy along with the T3 testing framework. Now in 2026, this program has undergone a fundamental paradigm shift, moving from prophylactic coverage to resolved outcomes. In the original 2018 version, the mindset was prophylactic and supplementation focused. The method relied on blanket distribution through isolated systems. The framework followed T3, which stood for test, treat, and talk, and the goal was simply to maximize service coverage. In the new Abhiyaan version for 2026, the mindset has shifted to therapeutic and case-based care. The method now involves early screening, targeted interventions, and digital tracking. The framework has expanded to T4, adding track to test, treat, and talk, and the ultimate goal is now to ensure sustained anemia resolution, not just service delivery. This shift is reflected in how the entire framework has expanded from 6x6x6 to 7x7x7, with a new 7th addition made across all 3 dimensions. For beneficiaries, the original 6 components now include a 7th group, low birth weight babies between 0 and 6 months. For interventions, the original 6 components now include a 7th approach called eating right, promoting locally available iron-rich food and dietary diversification. And for institutional mechanisms, the original 6 components now include a 7th addition, a digital framework for monitoring through the T4 approach. Let's look closer at the first pillar, the 7 beneficiary groups. This begins with the new 7th beneficiary, low birth weight babies between 0 and 6 months, added specifically to break the cycle right from birth. This is followed by children between 6 and 59 months who are at risk for growth issues, then children between 5 and 9 years with a focus on school wellness, then adolescents between 10 and 19 years targeted to break the intergenerational cycle, then women of reproductive age between 20 and 49 years focused on pre-pregnancy care, then pregnant women who receive interventions across all trimesters, and finally lactating mothers who receive support for up to 6 months after delivery. The second pillar covers the 7 key interventions, transitioning the program toward truly integrated management. The first is prophylactic iron folic acid supplementation. The second is anemia testing using digital invasive hemoglobin OTs. The third is therapeutic management based on the severity of the case. The fourth is deworming combined with delayed cord clamping. The fifth is Jan Bhagidari, encouraging active community ownership. The sixth is addressing non-nutritional causes such as infections and genetic disorders. And the seventh, brand new intervention, is the eating right approach, focused on diet diversity and iron-rich foods. The third pillar covers the 7 institutional mechanisms, strengthening the administrative backbone of the entire program. This includes intra-ministerial coordination across health divisions, a national center of excellence for technical guidance, supply chain strengthening for iron, folic acid, and diagnostics, convergence with other ministries such as Women and Child Development and Education, the AMB Abhiyaan portal for monitoring, and at the center of it all, the National AMB Abhiyaan unit responsible for overall implementation. The new seventh mechanism is the digital framework, enabling name based tracking through the complete test, treat, talk, and track cycle. Let's understand why this new seventh beneficiary group matters so much, since it represents a way to break the intergenerational cycle of anemia. The clinical rationale is clear. Low birth weight babies are born with depleted iron stores, and waiting until 6 months to intervene allows childhood anemia to take root early. The intervention protocol therefore focuses on timely anemia detection and risk mitigation right from birth, with iron folic acid drops administered strictly under the supervision of a pediatrician or the special newborn care unit in charge, and continuum of care maintained and tracked through special newborn care unit records integrated with the UWIN portal. The outcome of this early intervention is significant, since rebuilding iron stores early directly contributes to a reduced infant mortality rate and improved early childhood cognitive development. The seventh intervention, the eating right approach, focuses on treating and preventing anemia through daily healthy food habits rather than relying solely on supplements. This rests on three key ideas. Dietary diversification recognizes that no single food contains all the required nutrients, so a diverse diet ensures adequate folate, vitamin B12, and vitamin A alongside iron. Bioavailability synergy shows that combining locally available iron rich foods with vitamin C, which acts as an absorption enhancer, significantly improves how well iron is absorbed by the body. And sustained maintenance recognizes that food acts as a long term buffer to prevent recurrent anemia once clinical iron folic acid supplementation is eventually discontinued. The seventh institutional mechanism, the digital T4 framework, closes the loop from isolated testing to fully verified resolution. The first step is test, involving saturation of hemoglobin testing to categorize individuals as non anemic, mild, moderate, or severe. The second step is treat, providing either prophylactic iron folic acid supplements or targeted therapeutic management depending on severity. The third step is talk, involving structured counseling on diet diversity, supplement compliance, and deworming, delivered by ASHAs, Anganwadi workers, and auxiliary nurse midwives. And the vital new fourth step is track, which involves digital logging in the AMB Abhiyaan portal, generating personalized alerts for beneficiaries, scheduling follow-up retesting within 1 to 3 months, and monitoring compliance until resolution is fully verified. Alongside this framework, important clinical updates have also been introduced, including the WHO 2024 hemoglobin cutoffs for infants between 6 and 23 months. A hemoglobin level of 10.5 grams per deciliter or higher is considered non-anemic. A level between 9.5 and 10.4 is considered mild anemia. A level between 7.0 and 9.4 is considered moderate anemia, and a level below 7.0 is considered severe anemia. Notably, this same 10.5 baseline cutoff is also specifically applied to second trimester pregnant women. Alongside these updated cutoffs, diagnostics have also evolved significantly, moving away from subjective visual or manual color scale testing towards saturation testing using digital invasive hemoglobinometers, which provide precise, immediate, and digitally loggable point of care results. Understanding the root cause of anemia is also essential for healthcare workers managing cases that do not respond to standard iron folic acid treatment. Nutritional anemia arises from a deficiency of iron, folate, vitamin B12, or other micronutrients and is managed through dietary diversification, therapeutic iron folic acid dosage, and enhanced counseling for compliance. Non-nutritional anemia, on the other hand, arises from infections such as malaria, tuberculosis, or HIV, from helminths, from genetic disorders like sickle cell disease or thalassemia, or from other chronic diseases. In these cases, healthcare workers must not give empirical iron and should instead immediately refer the patient to higher centers such as first referral units or district hospitals for underlying disease management and specialized protocols. The prophylactic iron folic acid protocols themselves follow a detailed master matrix based on age and beneficiary group. For low birth weight babies between 0 and 6 months, iron folic acid drops are given as per the pediatrician's guidance. For children between 6 and 59 months, iron folic acid syrup containing 20 milligrams of iron and 100 micrograms of folic acid is given, ranging from 1 to 2 milliliters bi-weekly based on age and weight. For children between 5 and 9 years, a pink tablet containing 45 milligrams of iron and 400 micrograms of folic acid is given weekly. For adolescents between 10 and 19 years, a blue tablet containing 60 milligrams of iron and 500 micrograms of folic acid is given weekly. For pregnant women, a red tablet with the same 60 milligram iron and 500 microgram folic acid formulation is given daily, starting from the 4th month of pregnancy. For lactating mothers, the same red tablet is given daily for 6 months after delivery. And for women of reproductive age between 20 and 49 years, the same red tablet is given weekly. Beyond supplementation, certain allied interventions maximize the overall impact of this program. Biannual deworming plays a critical supporting role, since removing parasitic iron drain from the gut is a necessary prerequisite for successful iron folic acid absorption. And this works together with improved water, sanitation, and hygiene practices to break the transmission cycle of soil-transmitted helminths. Delayed cord clamping is another important allied intervention, facilitating critical placental blood transfer that provides newborns with higher hemoglobin levels and vital iron stores for their first months of life, achieved by clamping the umbilical cord 1 to 3 minutes after birth or after the pulses in the cord have ceased. All of this data is unified through an interoperable digital ecosystem. The Special Newborn Care Unit portal provides data on low birth weight babies between 0 and 6 months. The UWIN portal manages immunization sessions and child health data for children between 6 and 59 months. The RBSK portal captures mobile health team data from Anganwadi centers and schools for those aged 5 to 19 years. And the Janani system tracks antenatal, natal, and postnatal information for women of reproductive age, pregnant women, and lactating mothers. All of this data flows into the AMB Abhiyaan portal, which generates real-time performance analytics, predictive machine learning based forecasting, and automated compliance alerts for both ASHAs and beneficiaries. Achieving all of this requires a true whole of government approach, with multiple ministries working in convergence around the health ministry. The Ministry of Women and Child Development contributes Anganwadi based supplementary nutrition and the establishment of Poshan Vatikas or kitchen gardens. The Ministry of Education supports weekly iron folic acid supplementation distribution in schools through school health wellness ambassadors. And the Ministry of Jal Shakti ensures safe drinking water and sanitation infrastructure to prevent infections and soil-transmitted helminths. At the center of this convergence, the Health Ministry leads clinical screening, therapeutic treatment, and digital tracking. Community engagement plays an equally vital role. through what is called Jan Bhagidari, transforming passive acceptance into active ownership, since anemia is often deeply normalized within communities and needs to be actively addressed. This transformation happens in stages, beginning with awareness, understanding hemoglobin levels and their clinical impact, moving to action, improving diet, and actively demanding hemoglobin testing, then to habit, building regular compliance with iron folic acid supplementation supported by community nudges, and finally to sustained behavior, where individuals proudly achieve and claim an anemia free identity. This mindset shift from passive acceptance to active ownership is reinforced through campaigns like I Am Anemia Free, building individual pride and ownership through slogan integration, emphasizing that optimal hemoglobin defines a healthy life, and through community platforms that leverage Panchayati Raj institutions, self-help groups, school management committees, and frontline workers, the three ASA, ASHA, ANEMS, and AWE, for sustained habit formation. To summarize everything we've explored, Anemia Mukt Bharat Abhiyaan is no longer just about distributing supplements. It is now a precise, digitally monitored continuum of care. By integrating robust diagnostics, cross ministerial convergence, therapeutic management, and community ownership, the program ensures that every woman, child, and adolescent is empowered to lead a healthier and more productive life, moving the nation from isolated testing to truly integrated resolution. Hope you have understood about the Anemia Mukt Bharat Abhiyaan 2026 digital strategy. If you found this video useful, please watch and share with your friends and colleagues. Thank you.